Is your corporate office lying to you? Are you lying to your staff? Maybe is your staff lying to you? If you're a staff member, are you lying to the clients? There's an old saying, in the absence of logic exists deception. In the absence of logic exists deception. And you have some accountability for that. I want to give you a couple of examples. One of the brands that, actually a couple of the brands that we work with, they are notorious at the corporate level for a huge number of back orders. It's almost become comical as to how frequently the back orders occur. What's even more comical are the answers that the franchisees get as to the reasons why it's back ordered. And what that corporate office isn't aware of is that those franchisees are calling the manufacturer, and the manufacturer is telling them the complete opposite of what's going on. It's become indoor entertainment. But what has happened is the franchisees have now started holding that corporate office accountable. Verification is what they've asked for. In the absence of logic exists deception. When something absolutely doesn't make sense, you need to somehow get a grasp on verifying what is taking place. If you are sitting back and wondering, oh my gosh, I paid staff for 120 hours worth of work, but they only produced X. What were they doing all day? And the staff is saying, well, I did this and I did that and I did the other thing and I did this twice and I did this 100 times. That's not good enough. You want some type of verification process so everything is out in the open. It's a measure of accountability. Because what you don't want to have happen, which happens so often, is you have a trusted business colleague, trusted partner in some form or fashion, and out of the blue, something is said to you that catches you completely off guard. And you sit there racking your brain trying to figure out, how did I miss this coming? Well, if you can implement and execute steps for verification, and I'm going to give you a suggestion on it, that will help alleviate this problem. More so because now you'll be able to fix problems before they become unmanageable. You'll be able to properly coach and counsel staff. You'll be able to have an intelligent conversation with your corporate office, let's say, when they are maintaining that X, Y, and Z has happened when you have verification and confirmation to the contrary. So let's just start at the staff level. One bit of advice I would offer is if you're a staff member and you're watching this, keep track of every single thing that you do. I'll just talk about back in the old days. Back in the old days when I worked in a weight loss center, I kept a 3x5 card in my pocket. Then as smartphones came about, I told people, do this on your smartphone. I kept track of every dial I made, every person I reached, every appointment I set, all the people I had counseled, and what my results were with them. So I could keep track on a running basis all day long of exactly what I did. Now, this isn't brain surgery. This isn't some type of rocket science. It only takes so long to meet with somebody that's a client. It only takes so long to dial the phone. It only takes so long to talk to someone. It only takes so long to keep track of all that. You can account for every minute of the day. And what you'll find out is there's a lot of slop time in there. So don't lie to yourself as you're trying to lie to your boss or your franchisee or your manager that you were busy all day long. Let's face it, you weren't. No one's truly busy all day long. There is some slop time in there. Step up, be accountable, take responsibility for the slop time, but focus on the positive activities you've engaged in. Managers, do the same thing. Keep track of what you're doing. Keep track of what the staff's doing. So when your franchisee or the ownership asks you, what kind of progress are we making? How have you moved our business forward? You can give really good results. You can give hard, concrete facts about exactly what is going on. And if those results aren't good enough, have faith that your ownership or your franchisee will work with you in an intelligent way to help correct the problem. It's when you deceive, when there is an absence of logic, when it doesn't make sense that if you're doing all of these things and we are not getting the result that we desire, that there is deception. When your corporate office tells you, oh, it's back ordered because of this, that, and the other thing, and you call the manufacturer and the manufacturer says, what are you talking about? We've been shipping this stuff forever. It's because your corporate office hasn't paid their bills, and your corporate office isn't acknowledging that, ask them to prove that they paid the bills. And if they haven't, ask them what their strategy is to solve this problem moving forward. It doesn't make them bad, just hold them accountable. And don't worry about retribution. I know in some of the brands, when corporate offices have been held accountable for some of their activities, they've been so childish as to slap back at some of the franchisees. You know, that's only because they feel inferior and they feel like they've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar. I'm sure if they're doing it to you, they're doing it to enough other people where something that rhymes with class action probably will surface at some point sooner rather than later. So in the absence of logic exists deception. If something doesn't make sense, there's a reason for it. Trust your instincts, trust your gut. If something doesn't make sense, there's a reason for it. If you'd like more information on how you can really cut to the quick and get to the true problems that may be standing between you and a more profitable quarter or profitable year, click us or call us.